Johnny Dollar.
Monsieur Dollar, you will be amazed. You will be thrilled.
Yeah, well, I think I've had all the thrills I need here in Paris. And who are you?
Monsieur, I'm the night clerk here in the hotel.
Oh, well, what's all the excitement about?
Monsieur Dollar, I have the telephone call for you, and monsieur?
Yeah.
It is wonderful. It is the long distance. It is the transatlantic.
A transatlantic call.
From what you call the United States.
Well, bully for you.
But across the ocean. It must be the most important.
Yeah, well, put them on and we'll see.
Oui, monsieur.
Hello?
Johnny?
That's right.
George Reed here.
Well, George. All right, clerk, you can get off the line now.
What, Johnny?
You hear me? Clerk?
But, monsieur.
Come on, hang up.
Very well, monsieur.
Now, George, you get my cable report on the only jewels?
Yes, you did a great job in spite of all the money you threw around. I mean what you gave that man de Marsac. But listen, I'm glad I caught you before you left.
I'm flying on back tonight. See you in Hartford in the morning.
No.
What?
Contact Mr. Maurice Rigaud there at our Paris office.
Oh, what about? Getting those jewels back to America?
No, that's all taken care of. But in talking with him a minute ago, I happened to mention that you're there, so he wants you to stay around and see if you can help locate a Cellini medallion.
Cellini, the famous Italian artist?
Yes, and the medallion was stolen from the galleries of the Louvre 2 or 3 weeks ago. Priceless, so it has to be found and returned to them.
Well, I'll do what I can, George.
Good. I'll contact this man Rigaud at our office there immediately.
Contact Rigaud, huh?
That's right. But why do you say it that way?
Because maybe I won't bother him.
What?
George, maybe I've got a better idea.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the intriguing adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Floyd's of England, North American office. Or maybe it's the Paris office. We'll see. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Embarcadero matter. Expense account item 1, a few francs. Call it 10 cents American for a telephone call. Not to Rigaud at Floyd's of England, but to my old underworld contact, Louis de Marsac. The strange little character who calls himself the Grey Cat.
Oui, Monsieur Dollar. C'est la Jacquerie. You most loyal, most faithful friend.
Yeah, I'm sure. Are you living it up on that money I gave you for locating the only jewels for me?
Oh, alas, monsieur, I have been most unfortunate. Only one small, what you call investment. And now...
Easy come, easy go, huh?
Oui, the 5,000 is gone. And I was so sure of this one.
What kind of an investment, de Marsac?
Well, even you would have been attracted. Oh, she was young. She was so beautiful.
She? Oh, no.
Ah, that Marcel. How could such a lovely vision deceive me so? Oh, I'm crushed, a man without hope. And monsieur...
Yeah?
I'm also very, what you call, broke.
Uh-huh. Think $100 might help to raise your spirits?
$500? Oh, oui, monsieur. But for what?
100. For some information about what happened to the Cellini medallion.
Oui, stolen from the Louvre.
Oh, you know about it then?
But of course.
You know where it is?
No. But for you, mon ami, I will somehow find out.
Good.
But it may be dangerous, monsieur. The people I will have to see, the cutthroats, I will have to pay for the information. But for you and the $400 you have promised me.
Okay, $150. Want to call me when you've got the dough for me?
No, if I bring the information to you, I can then collect for it right away. 200?
I'll wait to hear from you. Okay, now, George, don't flip your lid over some more money for de Marsac. After all, he knows more about what goes on in the Paris underworld than any other man alive. And if in a day or two he can come up with the information I need, I'll put it this way. He saved the company a lot of time and money in the past, and I'm sure he can do it again. Also, if his poking around is as dangerous as he seems to... Yeah? Well, come in. De Marsac.
Oh, oui, monsieur. Je suis agree. Oh, the dangerous mission you sent me on is a fait accompli.
But I only talked to you on the phone about an hour ago.
I've wasted no time. You have the $300 for me?
$150. You have the information?
Oui, the Cellini medallion.
Well?
Well, it's on the way to your own country.
On the way? How?
Hidden away in a case of wine aboard the ship, the Klemper Hall, out of Le Havre.
The Klemper Hall, huh? Destination?
San Francisco.
Now, when's it due to arrive there?
Late tomorrow night. The cargo is many cases of wine. Yes, bottles of wine. The medallion is hidden away in one of them.
You're sure of all this, de Marsac?
But of course, mon ami.
Because if I fly all the way to San Francisco and find out you're giving me a wrong steer...
Oh, no. How can you, my oldest, my dearest...
Yeah, sure. Now, this means that someone over there is going to have to pick it up.
Oui, at the warehouse at the pier. And Monsieur Frank Gestel.
Gestel?
You know?
If he's the one I'm thinking of. A fence who used to operate in New York, but they can never pin anything on him?
It must be the same.
But in the shipload of wine, how'll he know which case has the Cellini medallion in it?
Ah, by this mark, mon ami.
Yeah?
So.
A tiny circle, yeah? Ah, with a Maltese cross in it.
Oui, like so.
Okay, de Marsac. I better pack up and catch a plane back to the States.
Mon ami.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Here you are. 50, 100, 150.
Oh, monsieur, such a dangerous...
Okay. 170, 90, 200.
Ah, merci. Merci beaucoup. Bon voyage. Oh, success.
Wait a minute.
Huh?
You dug up an awful lot of information in a very short time, de Marsac. Even about that mark on the case of wine.
Oh, but of course, monsieur. You see, I put it there myself.
You what?
Oui, when I helped my friends to smuggle the medallion aboard the ship.
Expense account item 2 is the couple of $100 to de Marsac for the information about the stolen Cellini medallion. Item 3, $92 American for my hotel there in Paris, and then a taxi out to Orly. Item 4, $5.99 even plane fare, Paris to New York to San Francisco, and a taxi to my favorite hotel, the Huntington, up on Nob Hill. A pea soup fog had settled over the city, and the driver had to practically feel his way the last couple of blocks. By the time I'd cleaned up and changed my clothes, it was late, and I was hungry. And after the long plane trip, I was glad for a chance to walk over to the Fleur de Lis on Sutter Street. Cocktails and a rare good dinner ran up item 5, $11 even. Then I started back to the Huntington, again on foot. I say I started. It was late, remember, and dark. Not many people on the streets. And suddenly I was conscious of someone behind me, slowly catching up with me. In the fog, he was only a shadow, but I was sure he was following me. I slipped out my gun under my coat and then slowed my pace. All right, brother, what? Huh?
Yeah. Hi, Johnny.
Smokey Sullivan.
Yeah.
Well, what under the... How are you, Smokey?
I thought that was you coming out of that Fleur de Lis. Hadn't you better put that back in your coat, huh?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, listen, you're just the man I want to see.
Yeah?
Yeah. And if you can dig up some information for me about somebody, I'll make it worth your while.
You're real good to me, Johnny. I'll do anything I can. And listen.
Yeah?
I don't know why you're out here this time, and maybe this ain't got nothing to do with it.
What's that, Smokey?
I've been hanging around the docks the last couple of days, down to the Embarcadero.
Doing a little honest work for a change?
Yeah. I'm real clean now, Johnny. I've been going straight.
That's the stuff.
But I know how to keep my eyes open. You know what's going on down there?
What?
Smuggling, Johnny. There's a lot of smuggling all the time. You know what I mean?
Keep talking, Smokey.
Yeah. Well, most of it comes in from Japan and China, places like that. It's the boys on the boats bringing stuff in.
Ah, well, what I'm interested in...
Narcotics, Johnny. Mostly heroin, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, now, Smokey, when you get any info about that kind of stuff coming in, you tip off the Treasury boys, the narcotics division.
Me, Johnny? Me go to the cops?
You mean because of your past record?
Yeah, they wouldn't believe me, Johnny. That's the trouble with going legit. I mean, the kind of guy I was.
Don't ever kid yourself. I don't want to lecture you, Smokey, but believe me, it's the best way in the world for you to make up for some of the things you've done in the past. Look what you've done in helping me.
Yeah, I know. And it was you got me going straight. But don't you see, if anybody was to find out that I was informed...
Don't worry. The Treasury boys will never talk.
Okay, Johnny.
But now the man
you
I'm interested
say.
in...
But now, like I was going to tell you...
Smokey, listen.
Like I said, most of the stuff is from the Orient. But down there to the docks, a couple of nights running now. Well, Johnny, you ever hear of Frankie Gerstel?
Are you kidding? That's the man I was going to... You mean the one who used to be a fence back in New York?
Yeah. Long time ago, I done a couple of jobs for him. That was before, you know.
You've seen Gerstel around here?
Down to the Embarcadero.
Sure. Waiting for the Klemper Hall to pull in from Europe.
The Klemper Hall, Johnny?
Yeah.
With a cargo of French wine?
Yeah, that's it. How do you know?
I helped unload her.
You what?
Yeah, come in ahead of time, early this morning.
And I got here too late.
Huh?
Or maybe I haven't. Come on, let's get on down to the Embarcadero. Item 6, $1.50 for a taxi. Pier 93, where the Klemper Hall was berthed, was dark. Except, that is, for a dim light in the office on the street side. Back in the huge warehouse extending out over the waters of the bay, there wasn't even a glow from a nightlight.
Sure funny, Johnny. They're not having some kind of a light in the warehouse.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out about that from the watchman there in the office, if we can wake him up.
Yeah. Sleeping on a job like that, why,
Hey, watchman. Watchman, come on, open up.
Johnny.
Yeah, I see. Come on, Smokey, give me a... Here we go, now. All right, wake up, mister. Come on, I said wake up.
Yeah, Johnny. He's asleep, all right. For good.
Fog-shrouded San Francisco, or the Embarcadero at night. There in the little office on the shore end of Pier 93, we found the watchman. Found him dead, with a bullet in the back of his head. Which meant that in all probability, Frankie Gerstel had gotten there before us, had already taken the Cellini medallion out of its hiding place. Or was it still there, one of the cases of wine, stacked up in the warehouse in the long, dark pier? There was only one way to find out.
Okay. We better get out of here, Johnny. If the cops come around to find this watchman laying here dead, even with Johnny Dollar to explain
Reach up and pull off that light, will you?
But, Johnny...
All right, here, I'll do it.
But, look, don't you see, if the cops come around, they see this office dark.
Yeah, we got to chance it. Now, if this watchman had a flashlight on him...
Yeah, in the side pocket of his coat.
Side pocket here. Yeah, here it is.
What are you going to do, Johnny?
I'm going back into that warehouse.
But, Johnny, don't you see, if you put on the lights back there...
That's why I've got this flashlight. I've got to locate a case of wine in there with a peculiar mark on it.
Well, something else in that case?
A priceless medallion that was stolen from the Louvre. It was smuggled in so Gerstel could pick it up.
But if he's already been in here and taken
Well, I
it...
got to make sure. Now, you wait right here.
Johnny, if a prowl car comes down the street...
Okay, shove the watchman's body under the desk. Turn the light on again and sit there in that chair with your hat pulled down over your face. If a prowl car comes along, wave to it.
Whatever you say, Johnny.
If anybody else comes along, tries to get in here, yell bloody murder and get out the best way you can. Now, I'm going back in the warehouse. And don't switch on the lights in there.
But be careful, Johnny.
Yeah. The light in the office, when Smokey turned it on again, made only a thin yellow line beneath the sliding door. It showed me nothing. It seemed only to accentuate the gloomy darkness of the huge warehouse. Cautiously, I felt my way to a pile of crates, stuck my head around the corner of it, and flicked on the flashlight for a moment to get the lay of the land. Bales, crates, packing boxes, and barrels filled the place. The cargo of the Klemper Hall. And there, at the far end, were the cases of wine I was looking for, hundreds of them. After mentally plotting a course through the mass of shipping, I turned off the flashlight and worked my way back to them in the darkness. Finally reached them. Yeah, when I tilted one of them, it gurgled slightly. I was about to flick on the light again when I realized that if Frankie had come here, if he'd killed the guard but hadn't left, yet somehow I had to find the case with the identifying mark on it. I put on the light again, and there in front of me was a case that someone had pried open. The cinch bar was lying beside it. On one corner was the mark that... Someone. I heard someone else in there. Behind me. Behind one of the packing cases I'd felt my way around in the dock. I heard him again. So I picked up the cinch bar. And I waited. Then... Holy... At least I'd seen the flash of the gun. But again, I waited.
Give up, Dollar. I've been here over an hour. I can see in here, but you can't.
Now? Well, I can see the flash of your gun.
You see what I mean? Dollar?
Just keep on talking, Frankie.
What? What'd you say? Dollar?
The cinch bar. All right, here, Frankie.
Ah, that's a stupid trick.
Too close. No, wait. Hey, your last shot, wasn't it, Frankie? Yeah. Hey, Smokey. Okay, Smokey, come out here in the warehouse. Turn on the lights and we'll...
Didn't figure I had two guns, did you, Dolly? But you haven't. Not now. You're through. And by the time you can reload... Yeah, Smokey, put on the lights. I can use them now.
No, Smokey, no.
That's right. And leave them on. And, Dollar, I'm going to dig you out from behind those crates and kill you. You hear me, Dollar? You can't get away. Yeah, because now I see you. So I pull this trigger.
Smokey.
Johnny, I took the gun off the dead watchman. Are you all right, Johnny?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah, sure I am. You saved my life, Smokey, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome, Johnny. But listen, the cops are coming.
Yeah, I hear him.
Well, then, Johnny...
Stop worrying, Smokey.
But don't you see...
You're on their side now, remember?
But if they... Yeah, I guess I am.
Sure. The Cellini medallion in Frankie's pocket. It was pretty obvious that he'd killed the watchman, taken the medallion out of the wine case and was about to leave when Wheat showed up. Smokey's shot had killed him. Had Smokey been worried, too, when the police barged in on us. But now he's a public hero. Oh, sure, there'll have to be some kind of a hearing on the whole affair. My deposition's already in. But Smokey's really in the clear. As for the couple of $100 I gave him, well, forget it, George. It came out of my own pocket. So, expense account total, including the trip home, $1,174 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Instead, let me say hi to 3 new CBS affiliates. They're KAAB in Hot Springs, Arkansas, WRIG in Wausau, Wisconsin, and WOMI in Owensburg, Kentucky. Welcome to CBS Radio. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Forrest Lewis, Vic Perrin, G. Stanley Jones, Tony Barrett, and Frank Gerstle. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
Johnny Dollar.
Earl Foreman, Johnny, out here in Los Angeles.
Well, hi, Earl. How's the weather out your way?
Are you kidding? It's wonderful. Always is. If I could manage to drag myself away from this desk, from this stream of small claims that are driving me mad.
Now, what kind of claims, Earl?
A lot of money lost through armed robberies and holdups.
Oh?
Looks as though the same man is committing them all.
You mean there's a pattern to them, huh?
Yeah. And I hope you can somehow put a stop to them. So will you come on out here right away?
Now, you said armed robberies.
Yeah.
Anybody been killed?
Not yet.
No?
But only because nobody's tried to fix up to this holdup man. He's apparently a pretty mean customer.
Oh, I see. In other words, maybe I can have the honor of being his first victim.
That's right.
Hmm?
Now, what I mean is, well, I suppose it could be kind of dangerous for you, so, well, that is...
No. It's all right, Earl. For you, for the sake of dear old tri-state life and casualty, no sacrifice can be too great, even if it means loss of the thing most dear and precious to me, my life.
Now, come off that stuff.
Never mind, Earl. I'll see you in a couple of days.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Reddick in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Tri-State Life and Casualty Insurance Company, Los Angeles office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Wayward Kilocycles matter. Expense account item 1, $170.40, plain fare. It was after 7 p.m. Hartford time when Earl called me, and the next good flight I could make was shortly after dawn the next morning. It got me there about 9 a.m. Pacific time. Item 2 was $6 for a cab to Earl Poorman's office in Westwood.
And these store robberies, Johnny, have all taken place in Lamodra Beach.
Lamodra Beach?
It's one of those new developments that have sprung up like weeds all over this town.
Now, you mean it's part of Los Angeles?
That's right. Just like Westwood here and Brentwood, Hollywood, View Park, Studio City, Sherman Oaks. Anyhow, Lamodra Beach is a real nice, snooty resort. Has a main shopping section nearly a half-mile long. Markets, nice little furniture, dress and jewelry stores, car dealers, drugstores, everything.
I see.
And these robberies have all occurred along that main stem.
Now, the robberies, not burglaries.
Robberies. Every one of them, Johnny. And there have been 7 in a row now. Every one of them has occurred in broad daylight in a regular pattern.
Now, wait a minute, Earl.
Yeah?
Haven't the police been able to do anything about them?
Oh, they've tried, all right, but so far they haven't got the first base.
Now, let's get to this pattern.
Yeah, well, to begin with, it all looks like the work of one man. The store owners who've been robbed all make him about 5'10", 10.5, around 150 to 55 pounds, dark brown hair, age about 30, and he wears a handkerchief over his face.
Well, let's face it, Earl, that description could fit thousands of men.
Yeah, I know. Anyhow, Johnny, he always pulls the jobs in the mornings when there aren't too many people in the shops and on the streets. And at the precise moment when the owner is all alone. His timing has been almost too good to be true. Almost fantastic.
And he simply barged in waving a gun?
That's right, an Army 45. He's made the owner clean out not only the cash register, but the safe, provided it's in a back room that can't be seen from the street. Then he skipped out through the alley that's behind all those stores. And it's all happened so fast. I tell you, Johnny, his timing is just fantastic.
And don't any of the store owners have alarm systems?
Believe me, they've all ordered them. But there hasn't been time to get any of them installed. And these 7 robberies have all happened within the past business week. 2 of them were in one day.
Now, how much money has been taken?
Well, not an awful lot, but enough to hurt. You see, they're all kind of exclusive shops, expensive. Except for the little coffee nook that was knocked over yesterday.
All within a week?
Yeah.
Almost before the police have really had a chance to catch up with him.
That's right. There may have so few police out there.
So maybe he'll knock over a couple more places and then take off for other parts. Or maybe he's through here already.
Well, that's why I think you'd better act fast. I mean, if it was somebody who lives there doing it, he'd take his time, pull a job, then wait for the heat to die down, then plan and pull another.
Now, what's the address of that coffee nook?
421 Harbor Drive.
Lamodra Beach.
Right. You want me to drive you over there?
Would you want to loan me your car instead?
Oh, sure. Here's the keys. Help yourself.
Okay, Earl. I'll check with you later. Item 3, $4.70 $1.70 for a tank full of gas, and I drove to Lemodra Beach. Believe me, it's an exclusive resort, all right. And not only because of the expensive homes around it, all of them in the $50,000 and up class, but I looked at the prices in some of the shop windows along that main drag. One sign on the window of a tailor shop announced that suit prices start at $275. And most of the buildings are quite colorful. A bar and grill that looks like the bow of a ship. A radio shop with a tower to make it look like a lighthouse, and so on. Then at the coffee nook, and that was the name of it, Mrs. Webster's Coffee Nook.
He certainly did, Mr. Dollar, did you say?
Yes, Mr.
Certainly did. He took over $135 from me. You know, some of that money I put aside to pay my bakery bill.
Oh?
You see, until they get a bank out here. Oh, boy, I certainly wish they'd hurry up and get that bank finished before everybody gets robbed.
There isn't a bank around here?
Oh, there will be. There'll be 3 of them. But with all that confusion over building codes, well, all the rest of the stores and places got in, the people started coming before they can finish up a single bank.
Now, Mrs.
I
Webster...
just hate to have to keep so much money around here all the time, and so does everybody else. Oh, at the nearest banks over in the valley or in Santa Monica or Westwood. But after what happened to me with that robber yesterday morning, well, you should have seen him with that horrible-looking pistol the way he waved it at me.
Yes, well,
and
Mrs. Webster,
the police are doing everything they possibly... Look. There they go now. There.
Yes, I see.
And if you ask me, Mr. Dollar, if you ask me, that means there's been another robbery. There, you see? They're stopping at that nice radio and television store, just the other side of Sam the Tailor. And do you see that nice Mr. Marks, the owner? You see him talking to the policeman?
Yes. Yes, it looks like you're right, Mrs. Webster. Another of these robberies. I hung around the edge of the crowd in front of the radio and television store until the police could poke around and ask the usual questions. And apparently get the same answers they had from all the previous victims of the holdup man. Instead of checking in with them, I waited until they and the usual bunch of sympathizers left the shop, and then sauntered in.
So I suppose I should be glad they didn't haul away all my stock, too.
They?
I mean, him, that dirty robber. $200 he took from me, all the cash I had.
That's too bad.
It's the same one that's been robbing everybody else around here. Even the police admit it. Only how did he know I was here alone? Answer me that. How did he know that Bertram was out making that installation for Mrs. Govan over on Palm Drive, huh?
I'm sure I don't know.
Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close up this place, that's what, until they catch him. Or until they get a bank in this town. And so are a lot of other people. You mark my word. And if you'll excuse me, mister, I'm going to close up this place right this minute. Well, I would. Unless you want to buy a radio set or maybe a TV, mister.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but have you seen this model? Oh, one of the finest TV sets ever made. Absolutely the newest model, 23-inch picture, high fidelity.
Yes, I'm sure.
Here, look here. Here, step back away from it, huh? Here, like this. Here, come here. You see this little thing I just took off the hook in front of it? No bigger than a package of cigarettes. Well, maybe king size.
Now, Mr. Mark.
It's positively the latest type remote control.
Well, I'm here to see you about...
So that's the morning dance party you're looking at. It's a good picture, huh?
Yes, that's a good, clear picture, all right.
So maybe you like the music a little bit louder,
Mr. Mark.
So you have to walk back to the set and turn it on? No, sir. This little remote control unit right here in my hand. So I push a little button like this.
Now listen, will you?
And you see, up comes the music. And I didn't even have to touch the set. That's wonderful, huh?
Can you bring that music down a bit?
Well, of course, like this. There.
Yeah, that's better. Now, Mr. Mark.
Also, you can change the station.
While at the same time, President-elect Kennedy
visits
with
the news broadcast.
Yeah.
You want to hear the news? All you have to do is push this button.
No, please, Mr. Mark.
Just watch.
Immediately after the first of the year.
Not much going on with this.
Now, there's that Fish for Love, that wonderful serial program every day. And any other program you want. All you do is...
Mr. Mark.
Well, if you want the dance party back on...
please.
I was just demonstrating, in case you want to buy a nice, brand new, latest model.
No, I don't. What I wanted to talk to you about... Look, will you please just stop fooling with that thing for a minute?
But I didn't touch it. Not that time.
Oh?
It seems
see, there it goes again. Change the stations all by itself.
John, there's absolutely no...
What do you mean? Is it supposed to do that?
No. That's the third
Now, look
time.
here, Marshal.
I mean, today is the third time that thing has been acting up. Maybe the fourth.
Well, you better send it back to the factory.
And the last time was only 4 minutes before that holdup man came in here. Oh,
The Western nation.
going crazy.
Now, that holdup is what I came in here to talk about, Mr. Marks.
Just like I said before.
Now, tell me, Mr. Look, would you please, can't you turn that thing off?
Say, I just thought of something, Mr. What's your name is?
Well, I didn't, but it's Johnny Dollar.
Well, see, Mr. Dollar? There goes again.
Now, look, I am a special investigator from the insurance company that will have to pay you for whatever loss you suffered as a result.
Turning to sports.
Would you turn that thing off, please?
Oh, yeah, of course. Now, there you are. The whole set is off now. But like I started to say...
What as I started to say.
The next to the last time this happened was just before that poor Mrs. Webster got robbed yesterday morning.
What I want to know from you is... What did you say?
I said the remote control system on this magnificent television set acted this very same way just before I got robbed.
Yes.
And also just before Mrs. Webster got robbed.
Well, now, are you sure of that?
Well, maybe. Maybe now that I think of it.
Yes, maybe what?
Well, maybe it was acting up this way 3 days ago at Mr. Blenson at the novelty shop.
Well, he was robbed. Well?
Yeah, over $700.
Right after the set started acting up?
Yeah, ain't that funny?
Somehow he said this crook seemed to know exactly when the owners were alone in their stores.
Yeah?
That his timing was perfect.
What'd you say, Mr. Dollar?
That's what Earl Foreman told me.
Earl Foreman?
And maybe this TV demonstration of yours, this remote control gizmo, explains just how that hold-up man knows when the coast is clear.
I'm afraid I don't understand what you're saying, Mr. Dollar.
In other words...
Now, wait, Mr. Dollar.
Yes, you have an idea?
Yeah, I certainly have. Because if you're from the insurance company, and if you're the one to see I get paid back for what I lost, well, should we talk business?
Yes, we'll talk business, all right, but not about your insurance.
But, Mr. Dollar...
That remote control device. Here, now, how does this thing work?
Well, I don't know exactly. It's some kind of waves.
Waves?
Yes, sound waves or something. You know, in this booklet here that comes with a set.
Sound waves?
Yeah. Look here. It says waves of 44.6 kilocycles to 51 kilocycles.
Yeah.
So high in pitch as to be inaudible to the human ear. That means you can't hear it.
Yes, I know. Go on.
Yes. Actuated device within the set itself that changes volume or station channels or turns it off or turns it on.
Okay, I've got it.
Yeah?
Yes. Don't you see? This hold-up man has a pal.
So?
Yes, that's it. There is somebody along this main street who can keep tabs on all you store owners, who knows when you're all alone in your shop.
Oh, he does?
And by radio, he communicates with the man who actually pulls the hold-up. Tells him when the coast is clear.
You mean that one of the merchants, that somebody here along this street is telling this holdup?
Yes.
He's telling him by radio when it's safe for him
Yes,
to rob
that's exactly what I mean. And he doesn't know it.
Oh.
But his radio signal on a band somewhere between 44 and 51 kilocycles is also working this remote control gadget.
So, I told you this was a wonderful and marvelous set.
All right, then. If I can get hold of a direction finder, I can track down the guy who's sending out the all-clear information to the hold-up man.
You really think so?
That is the answer, Mr. Marks. And I think I know where to get hold of a direction finder.
Yet if what you say is true, Mr. Dollar.
Yes, well?
Well, after the way this set was behaving a couple of minutes ago.
Right. More hold-up information being sent out from that transmitter.
Yeah, but then there ought to be another hold-up. Only there isn't. At least there isn't any... Oh.
Yes. Come on.
Look. And you see the people there in the next block there in front of the market. It's another holdup. 2 in one day again.
Yes.
And, Mr. Dollar, there'll be more and more and more of them until we're all put out of business.
No?
No?
No, because now, Mr. Marks, we know the answer. Using the phone in the store of Mr. Marks, I ran up item 4. 20 cents for a call to Bob McKinney in North Hollywood, who is known among radio hands as W6VFG. He not only used to handle the engineering end of my broadcast, but believe me, Bob knows his kilocycles like the back of his hand.
Sure, it's possible, Johnny. All that a hold-up man needs is a little vest pocket receiver lashed up to get signal
and somebody along this street can send an info about when the coast is clear.
Right.
Okay, then, Bob. If you can bring a direction finder over here, we can track down the transmitter and nab at least one of the team.
Better still, you'll know where the next robbery's going to be and get the boat.
Yes, unless this last one was the last one. How soon can you get over here with that equipment?
You sure the signal's being transmitted within that frequency range?
Well, it has to be.
And I'll do whatever rewiring is necessary here at home. And, how about first thing in the morning?
I'll be waiting for you at the Marks Radio and Television Shop here on the main drag.
I'll be there.
I drove back to West Los Angeles and spent the rest of the day and the night with Earl Foreman and his wife. Then, early the next morning, met Bob at Mr. Mark's shop in La Modra Beach. As Bob finished setting up his radio direction finder...
There we are. All set. Johnny, you still haven't told me how you got the frequency of that signal he's sending out, whoever he is.
No, it's easy, Bob. That TV set out there on the floor. You see it? There against the wall.
The big one?
Mm-hmm. There's a remote control. That little removable box with the buttons on it.
Yeah, I know the model.
When you push one of these buttons, it sends out a signal in that frequency range that I gave you and makes the set change station.
Uh-huh.
So if the transmitter sending out info to the hold-up man also makes the set change station, it must be working in that same frequency.
No, Johnny, no.
What?
I'm sorry, but it doesn't mean a thing.
Well, what do you mean?
That remote control puts out sound waves.
Well, I know, too high in pitch for us to hear them.
Not radio waves.
Well, what do you mean? You mean that my theory, my whole theory about somebody transmitting information, that you mean it's all wrong?
Johnny, it's sound that makes the TV set react. So whether somebody's using a radio transmitter on that frequency or not, it couldn't possibly. And yet I suppose the matter of resonating, I mean, a sympathetic resonance.
What?
Well, sometimes nearby to a broadcasting transmitter, a pile of bits of metal, something like that, sometimes it'll resonate. While listening to that pile of scrap metal, you can actually hear the broadcast.
So?
But the transmitter of these signals would have to be practically on top of this TV set.
Maybe it is. Huh? Because whoever is tipping this guy off to when the coast is clear, to when some businessman is alone in his store, has to be somewhere right along this main street.
Well,
otherwise, he wouldn't be able to see when it's all clear.
Well, maybe if it was somebody right next door.
Mr. Marks.
The Marrowell sisters with their nice dress shop? Never, Mr. Dollar, never.
And on the other side of this place?
My good friend Sam the tailor.
But on top of this shop of yours, it's built up like a lighthouse.
Here for local color here at the beach.
Yeah?
Like Tony's bar is like the front of a ship and like that Hawaiian saloon.
But what is in this lighthouse of yours?
Well, just a couple of small apartments I rent.
But there's a transmitting antenna on the top of it.
Oh?
I don't see a transmitter in the shop.
Well, I don't have any. All I sell is receiving things like radios
Bob, you have got it. One of your boarders, Mr. Marks.
Those two boys?
Boys?
Well, 25, maybe 30 years old.
Well, what do they do?
Well, that Willard Thorson, he never seems to leave the place.
Well, of course he doesn't, because up there in that tower is where he can see everything that goes on down here on the street. The whole length of the street.
Johnny, you're right.
And the other one, Mr. Marks.
Well, I don't know. That Harry Williams goes out early every morning and comes back late at night.
Well, of course, because he is out waiting to get the word from Thorson up there on the tower.
And Johnny, if that transmitter is up in the tower, it's plenty close enough to affect this TV set.
Then go on up there, Mr. Dollar, and arrest that Willard, that Willard Thorson.
On what? Unless we catch him broadcasting information to Harry Williams.
And even then, pal Harry might get away.
Right. So, I have a better idea. Why don't we just sit down here and watch some TV? So we did, for 3 solid days. Until suddenly the set began to change stations unexpectedly. When that happened, Bob turned on his direction finder. And yes, that signal was coming from straight up over our heads. And the voice that Mr. Marks identified as Willard Thorson told his pal Harry the coast was clear at Beckham the jeweler's.
Yeah, right down the street, Mr. Dollar. Only $5 down the street.
So while Bob McKinney went up in the tower to grab Willard Thornton, I hiked on down the back alley to Beckham the jeweler's with my .38 ready for action. And I got there just in time to find Harry Williams about to leave by the back door, loaded with Beckham's dough. You know, I didn't like his looks. I didn't like that .45 in his hand either. And he objected to my borrowing his getaway. He was really kind of nasty about it. But after a while, we kind of reached an understanding. And my knuckles are still sore from when he ran into my fist. Yes, I guess there's nothing like modern electronics as an aid to crime. And as an aid to catching a crook. Two of them in this case. Expense account total, including a trip home, call it $400 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Oh, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a crook, a firebug, unwittingly solves the case for me and hands me a Christmas present to boot. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Reddick, is written by Jack Johnstone, produced and directed by Bruno Zerato Jr. Heard in our cast, Leon Janney as Mr. Mark, Les Damon as Earl, Bill Sterling as Bob, and Athena Lord as Mrs. Webster.
Johnny Dollar.
Dollar, this is Michael J. Kendry at the San Francisco office of International Life and Casualty.
Mr. Kendry.
No, I'm not in my office. I'm over at Lake Tahoe. You know the place?
South of Reno, kind of half in California, half in Nevada.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
I'm staying at a motel called Seven Pines Lodge at the south end of the lake. On the map, the town's called Al Tahoe.
Seven Pines Lodge in El Tahoe. Yeah, got it. Oh, and I understand there's some pretty great fishing in that lake. So, Kendry, I'll grab the first plane I can.
Fishing, huh?
What?
Maybe that's what you'll end up doing, all right.
Great.
For the body of a man named Marvin W. Smedley.
Huh?
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the International Life and Casualty Insurance Company, San Francisco office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Twins of Tahoe matter. Expense account item 1, $182.50, cab to Bradley Field and an early morning jet flight to San Francisco. Item 2, when I got there, $50 deposit on a rental car. I could have taken a ferry plane to Sacramento or even north to Reno, but I wanted another look-see at this part of the country. And I'm glad I made the drive, for Route 50 took me through a lot of the romantic old gold rush country. Yeah, through Placerville, now a quiet, busy little city, but once one of the most lawless, notorious places in the West, where the corner of Main and Coloma Streets was known only as Hangtown. And at one end of Main Street, you can still see the famous Hangtown bell that was used to call out the vigilantes in times of trouble. And then, finally, Lake Tahoe. And in my way of thinking, it's one of the most beautiful spots on Earth. Over 20 miles long and about half as wide. Its deep, clear water is the bluest I've ever seen, except in the shallows along the edges where it changed to an almost brilliant emerald. Tall, snow-capped peaks stand out above the dense, forever-green forest that surrounds the lake, barely hiding the many resorts that nestle together along the water's edge. And the water's cold out there and very deep.
There are parts that have never been fathomed. Now and then I could see the clean, cloudy wake of a speedboat, sometimes with a water skier in tow. A group of small sailboats, white canvas, spread to the wind. Here and there along the shoreline, a few hardy souls in swimming, braving the chill waters in that breathless high altitude before the early winter snows would come. And then, in contrast, in various spots along the highway on the Nevada side, as such things are illegal in California, there were huge, gaudy, restless, noisy gambling houses. And out Tahoe at the Seven Pines Lodge, and there were 7 tall pines around the neat little motel, Kendry was waiting there for me.
Dollar?
Yeah, that's right.
Glad you made it. I'm Mike Kendry.
Oh, yeah. How are you, Mike?
Come on into my cabin. I'll tell you what it's all... Mrs. Nelson, Mr. Dollar's arrived. I'll settle him in the cabin next to mine.
Come on, Johnny. Yeah. Hey, you mentioned fishing for the body of a man by the name of Smedley.
The police are fishing for it now. Marvin W. Smedley. He was a client of ours. Very wealthy, retired. Come on in. Sit down.
Okay, sure. Well?
On the way in here, you passed a big piece of lakeside property with a small stone house set back away from the beach.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Smedley's, where he lived with a housekeeper, Mrs. Turner, and his twin nephews, Tracy and Alfred Smedley. They're about 25 or 6.
So what's happened?
About 3 o'clock this morning, Mrs. Turner woke up to what she thought was the sound of a shot. She went into the boys' room to see if they'd heard it, but they weren't there.
Oh?
And she remembered Tracy had said he'd be out gambling all night over on the Nevada side, and that Alfred was at a 2 or 3 day house party at the upper end of the lake. And rather than try to waken old man Smedley, well, she decided it was only a backfire and went back to bed.
Yeah?
But when she got up for breakfast, well, she found the library in a real mess, and the safe had been rifled.
No sign of Smedley?
No.
Go on, Mike, please.
Now, she knew that old Smedley had a habit of getting up in the middle of the night and going in there and counting his money. He never did trust the banks, kept everything he had in that safe. So she knew right away what must have happened. She knew for sure when she found that Smedley wasn't in his bedroom or anywhere else around the house. Also, she says she could smell gunpowder there in the library.
Well, did she call the police?
Yeah, and Sergeant Porter came running. And when he found the footprints leading down to the beach, down to the dock, and the marks of a body dragged along.
And the body itself?
No sign. Must have been weighted down and dumped in the lake.
Who, Mike?
No question about it. They've been living easy off him for years, just waiting for him to die so they could get their hands on his money. One of the twins.
Only one of them?
Only one set of footprints out there in the sand.
Have the police been able to find the twins?
Sure have. They've got them locked up in the local hoosgow.
Then what's the problem?
Only one of them did it, Johnny.
Okay.
But both of them, both of those boys have absolutely airtight alibis.
Crime, delinquency, threats of war. These are the subjects that dominate our news headlines these days. Not very pleasant subjects, are they? You may say that somebody ought to do something about cutting down on crime and delinquency and in promoting peace among nations, but that there's nothing you personally can do about it. Well, that's where you're wrong. You can wage your own fight against crime and delinquency in your own family by taking the family to the church or synagogue of your faith this week. The inspiration and guidance you and they will receive from spiritual contact will strengthen moral background and faith. Regular attendance at religious services will help your family to work out its own problems and give them comfort in facing the tensions of our present-day life. Worshipping together brings your family closer together, too. And supporting your own religious institution provides funds to help those individuals and families who, unlike you, are unable to help themselves. Find the strength for your life. Worship together this week. And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
The police had roped off a lane from Smedley's house to the beach to the dock, where it was obvious from the tracks in the sand that somebody had dragged the old man out there, piled him into one of the rowboats, then dropped him into the lake.
Sure, it was one of those twins, Mr. Dollar. It had to be.
Well, now, why do you say that, Chief?
Sergeant Bill Corder.
Okay, Sergeant.
Well, not only because of what Mr. Kendry told you about him, but because the footprints that hauled him out of here was made by the shoes of one of them.
Which one?
Either Tracy or Alfred.
But you don't know which?
Well, that's the trouble. Not only Only because it was a pair of brand new shoes that didn't have any what you might call identifying marks. Even where they showed up clear in the damp sand. But because those two young punks always dressed exactly alike. You know, so as to cover up for each other.
How do you mean?
I mean, not only because they were always...
Those boys were always mischief makers, Johnny.
They sure were and still are.
They just didn't have anything else to do. One of them would provoke a fight at one of the gaming casinos or borrow somebody's car without permission or such nonsense. And each of them would swear it was the other.
Yeah.
And because they look and talk and act exactly alike so that nobody can ever tell which is which, well, the police here, never knowing which one they could legally hold, and they were always threatening the suit for false arrest.
And you'd be as mad as we are over how many times they've gotten away with that, Dollar.
Right.
And not only because witnesses to whatever they did couldn't tell them apart, but that fool uncle of theirs would always come along and pay a fine or something before we could nail down the right one. That's it.
And you say they both have alibis for whenever it was this thing happened?
Yes, sir. About 3 o'clock this morning.
And you're sure about those footprints?
Sure I am. Found the shoes that made him in the house in the clothes closet. Found the sand on them.
In whose closet?
Tracy's.
Oh?
Yes, sir. And Alfred's.
Same closet. Sergeant Corder, Mike and I went on into the house to talk to Mrs. Maid Turner, Smedley's old housekeeper. Tall, raw-boned, but erect and strong in spite of her years, having worked hard all her life. She looked as if nothing in the world could ever face her. But obviously the death of her employer had.
If only he'd have listened to me, Mr. Dollar. If only he'd have listened. Because I knowed something like this would happen to the poor old man. Him keeping all of his money here in the house instead of down to the bank where he ought to.
How much money, Mrs. Turner?
Oh, goodness knows, Mr. Dollar. But it was all he had, and he was a rich man, and everybody knowed that he kept it here, and that he'd come down in the middle of the night and count it all out to himself, and look. He didn't even pull down the shades, so as anybody and everybody could see him sitting here with all his money, and I told him, and now it's happened.
In other words, Sergeant, almost anybody around here could be suspect.
If it wasn't for the footprints out there in the sand. Well,
Footprints, did you say?
Well, to be honest about it, that's why I came in here earlier, Miss Turner, to look at the boys' shoes in their closet. You see, whoever did it and hauled him out and threw him in the lake, well, that is...
You don't need to tell me, officer, because I kept telling him about them, too. About the way he was spoiling them so bad, giving them everything they wanted. I told him that sooner or later one of them would get so greedy he'd turn on to him.
But which one, Mrs. Turner?
Which one? They're the only relatives that he had. So it was Alfred.
Oh?
Oh, it was Tracy.
Yeah. My next move was to go on down to the jail and talk with the twins. Oh, they were identical, all right. I wondered how they themselves knew which was which. But in spite of what seemed to be the general opinion of them, they impressed me as just a couple of rather nice, normal, high-spirited kids.
So, what if we did raise a little cane around town now and then, Mr. Dollar? None of it ever really did any harm, and we had to do something with our time.
All right, now look here, Tracy.
No, I'm Alfred.
Oh, well,
And what I mean is, it's no reason to pin a lousy thing like this on us, even though we aren't too sorry that he's gone. After all, what did he have to live for? I mean, just having to drag on maybe 10 or 15 years more with that lung trouble he had.
Now, look, you boys never had to do a lick of work in your lives.
Well, not since we got through school. But do you know why, Mr. Dollar?
Why, Al? I mean, Tracy?
Because Uncle Marv didn't want us to. He'd worked so hard as a prospector and a miner, accumulating his pile, and he wanted somebody to enjoy his money.
And that old skinflint ever want somebody else to enjoy it?
That's right. Trace and me. We're his only kin. Yeah, that's why he told us he was leaving us all his insurance.
And what about the rest of the estate?
We don't know and we don't care. After all, he did plenty for us. I mean, even before this insurance we'll get.
Not if it's proved that you killed him, Tracy.
Oh, now wait, Mr. Dollar. Have you got any proof that Uncle Marv was killed?
Proof that...
Well...
What?
I mean, sir, that unless you find his body...
Don't you worry about that, Tracy. Al. My boys will find his body if they have to drag that entire lake.
But unless you do, you won't really have a case against us or anybody, will you?
We'll find it, all right.
And why don't you suspect somebody besides us?
Yeah? Like who?
I'll tell you who, Sergeant. What about all those old prospectors from the old days that he did out of mining claims that have kept coming back to me for handouts?
Oh, you're a fine one to talk about handouts. Now listen, don't tell me you aren't glad that he's gone.
Yes. Trace and me and that old witch Turner and all the other people.
Now, you look. Wait a minute. If Miss Turner hadn't taken care of him all these years...
Oh, sure.
All right. I understand you boys have pretty good alibis for 3 o'clock this morning.
Do we have to go over all that again?
What, afraid you might slip up retelling them, Alf?
I'm Tracy, Mr. Dollar.
Okay. Now tell those alibis to me.
Okay, Mr. Dollar. Whatever you say.
Okay, Tom, you relieve Jimmy over there on the blackjack table. When he gets back, you can take over one of the roulette wheels.
Oh, Mr. Harker?
Sure, Dollar. One of the Smedley twins was in here all night.
Which one?
Came in around midnight and didn't pull out until, it must have been about 8:30 this morning.
All right. Now, you're sure that he was here at about 3 a.m., huh?
Sure, I'm sure. Playing one of the crab tables.
He didn't step out for a few minutes, perhaps?
No, sir, and I know. Because I always keep an eye on those Smedley kids. You don't watch them, they're liable to pull tricks on our dealers. They think it's funny.
All right. Which one was it? You know?
I told you. It was Alfred Smedley, or his brother Tracy.
Thanks.
Come in and have a little refreshment, Mr. Dollar.
No, thanks. Just go on with what you were saying, please.
Well, the party got pretty big, and we all had a lot to drink. I didn't watch the clock, and it didn't really break up until about 9 o'clock.
This morning?
Mm-hmm.
And he was with you all the time, huh?
Every minute.
All right, now, which one of the twins was it?
Who cares? You're both a lot of fun. I mean, fun.
But, now listen, I have to know if it was Alfred or Tracy.
But I haven't the least... Say, now, what's this all about, Johnny?
Murder.
Oh.
Well?
Well, it was Tracy. Maybe it was Alfred.
Thanks a lot.
In a world of doubting Thomases decades ago, it never would have been possible for stars to shine in the daytime. But in this day and atomic age, anything's possible. Thus, it's not only possible, but a fact that only on stations of the CBS radio network, stars do indeed shine in the daytime. You'll find them illuminating an entire segment of your daytime listening every Monday through Friday. These stars have all been named by celestial authority vested in their forebears. Those names are Arthur Godfrey, Art Linkletter, Bing Crosby, Rosemary Clooney, Gary Moore, and Durward Kirby. You won't find them in your book of the planets and stars, but no compendium of show business luminaries would be complete without them. Monday through Friday, your radio set is your personal telescope on this star-studded display, on your CBS radio station. To list them once again, Arthur Godfrey, Art Linkletter, the house party man, Bing Crosby and Rosemary Clooney in tandem, and Gary Moore and Durward Kirby. Enjoy them often. Now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the twins of Tahoe matter.
So both Tracy and Alfred Smedley had alibis, if for no other reason than that neither of them could have been in two places at once. And those alibis might be pretty hard to break. Yet, according to what little actual evidence there was, one of them must have killed their uncle, or the insurance... Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah, there was something that Alfred, or Tracy... Anyhow, there was something that one of them had said that suddenly gave me a hunch. Expense account item 370 cents for phone calls to locate Smedley's lawyer on the success of Venice. Then I dropped into his office and asked him just exactly one question about the old man's will. And his answer gave me a new, fresh start on the case. Item 4, 10 cents, another call. This one to Sergeant Corder.
Yes, Dollar. The boys found the body all right.
Yeah?
Now, you know how the water off that beach stays clear and shallow until it, gets to 150 yards or more straight out from the dock?
Yeah?
And it drops off over 300 feet straight down, just like that?
And the body had been dumped over that ledge?
Oh, but it's gone all the way down. We'd never have found it. But it was hung up on a rock, not more than 20 foot under.
I see.
And Dollar, there's a nice clean bullet hole on the back of his head.
Did you find the gun?
Same caliber as one that was issued to those twins a couple of years ago.
Did you find it?
No, sir. And if it was dropped overboard, too, and it must have been, well, I hate to say it, but, Dollar, we'd never find a little gun in over 300 foot of water at the bottom of that lake.
No, all right, then.
We'd never find it in 1,000 years.
Maybe we don't need to, if I can pull off a little bluff.
In other words, we're never going to know whose prints are on
Sergeant.
it. But it was one of those twins did it, all right.
Sergeant.
No, there's just no question about it.
Listen, Sergeant, listen to me, would you please? I want to go back to the house.
Huh?
You meet me there in the library, there at Smedley's house.
Oh?
Yeah. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
The morgue? Oh, no.
That's right, Miss Turner.
Oh, that's terrible. Terrible place.
Mrs. Turner.
Couldn't you just brought me his poor old body here to the house?
Mrs. Turner.
Yes, Mr. Dollar.
Well, let's quit fooling around with this thing, huh? I just finished talking to Mr. Kenneth McManus.
Mr. McManus?
That's right, the lawyer.
Yes. Yes, and I guess he told you that all of poor Mr. Smedley's insurance goes to those two worthless twins, those murderers.
Yes, he mentioned that.
Is that all he told you?
No. He also told me that the remainder of the estate goes to... Let me see, I scribbled down some of the actual words. Here. The balance of my estate, including my home, I bequeath to one who, although I'm certain her motives have been entirely selfish, that she has simply been looking forward to being provided for in my will.
What?
Nevertheless, as a reward for Mrs. May Turner's faithful service, and I have told her this.
He left something to me.
You know that he told you he did. And that was your motive, Mrs. Turner.
What's this? Now, you look
Of
here,
course, the gun
young man.
belonging to the twins was just as available as a pair of shoes that were borrowed to carry the body out there and leave the footprints.
Dollar.
The point is, though, that when Sergeant Corder found not only the body, but the gun out there in the lake...
No, Dollar.
And when I take your fingerprints and compare them with those we found on the gun...
No, listen.
You don't mind giving me a set of your fingerprints, do you, Mrs. Turner? Well...
Half of my life. Half of my life I spent taking care of that stingy old man. And him giving me nothing. Whilst all the time he kept giving his money to them boys. So that by the time he finally would die natural, what'd they be left for me?
And you would have let those boys go to the gas chamber, wouldn't you?
No.
Oh, no?
I hated those boys. But I knowed they could never put it on to them. Nobody could ever put anything on to them before.
I'm afraid that's beside the point now. Now that we know you did it.
But I had to. Because if I'd have waited, he'd give them all his money, and when he did die, there was nothing left. Nothing for me. Nothing. Don't you see?
What's left for you now, Mrs. Turner? Oh, sure. From here on in, it's up to the courts. And no doubt the whole estate will go to the twins. You know something? I hate this kind of a case. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Expense account total, including incidentals and the trip back home, $416 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Constipation is something people don't talk much about, but it can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Now, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Well, pleasant-tasting chocolate X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset. That's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, one of the most beautiful, most charming girls I've ever known, involved with a killer. But now, don't misunderstand me. I didn't say how she's involved. As a matter of fact, it's to protect her from a killer that I take on the case. And it just so happens that among the people on this man's list of intended victims, that is, the people who had a hand in sending him out to prison, yeah, you guessed it, he's also after me. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Gene Tatum, Paul Dubois, Forrest Lewis, Sam Edwards, Herb Ellis, Tom Hanley, and Bill James. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wald speaking.
Menace looms over blistering desert wastes as suspense brings you Inferno next on the CBS Radio Network.